You wake up in silk sheets, in a palace guarded by soldiers, serving the most powerful family on earth. And yet you don't belong to anyone, not even yourself. You're not a queen, not a noble, not a servant either. You are something stranger. You feed kings, but no one feeds you love. Welcome to your life as a royal wet nurse. You are born poor. That part is important. Not tragic poor in the storybook sense. Real poor. The kind where hunger is normal and silence means someone didn't make it through the night. Your village sits far from the palace walls, but the palace still owns you, you just don't know it yet. Your mother teaches you early how to carry water without spilling, how to lower your eyes, how not to speak unless spoken to. She also teaches you something else, how to survive by being useful. And that lesson will follow you for the rest of your life. You marry young, not because of love, because mouths must be fed and alliances must be made. By the time you are 20, your body already knows exhaustion better than joy. Then you give birth. Your child is healthy. You are healthy. And that, ironically, becomes your curse. Because in this world, a woman who produces milk is not a mother first. She is a resource. The messenger arrives one morning on a horse cleaner than anything you've ever touched. He doesn't knock. He doesn't ask. He announces, "The queen has given birth. The royal child is weak. The court physicians are worried. They need women like you. Strong women. Proven women. Women whose bodies still work." You don't understand what that means until your husband's hand tightens around yours. The offer is simple. You will go to the palace. You will feed the royal infant. You will be paid more coin in a month than your family sees in a year. And your own child? Your own child will stay behind. Alive, breathing, but no longer fed by you. This is the first time you learn a hard truth. In royal service, love is a luxury you cannot afford. The room exhales. You have just saved a dynasty. No one thanks you. That night, you are shown your chamber. It is larger than any home you've ever known. It is also silent. No husband, no baby, no voice that knows your name. Just a bed. And the understanding that tomorrow you will do it again, for years. You quickly learn your place in the palace ecosystem. You are not allowed opinions. You are not allowed attachments. You may not leave without permission. You may not refuse. You eat well, but alone. You sleep comfortably, but untouched. Nobles avoid eye contact with you. Servants envy you. The queen barely looks at you. And yet, the court lady clears her throat. You do what your body was trained to do. You understand. You lift the child. The baby feeds. You sit. You spend more time with the royal child than she ever will. You are there for first cries, first laughs, first sickness. The child reaches for you, not her. This scares everyone. So they remind you often that you are replaceable. And that love, if you let it grow, will only hurt you later. You begin to understand the cruel joke of your life. You are essential and completely disposable. Years pass. The child grows strong. The doctors are pleased. Your body begins to change. Milk slows. Strength fades. Whispers begin. You hear them in hallways. She's past her prime. We'll need a new one soon. You realize something terrifying. The palace does not care who you are, only what you produce. And when that ends, so might your protection. You start sleeping lighter, not from fear of danger, but from fear of being forgotten. You learn very quickly that palaces are quiet places, not peaceful, quiet. The kind of quiet where every footstep is heard, every whisper travels, and every emotion is dangerous if shown in the wrong room. The child grows fast. Too fast, according to the physicians. They say your milk is strong, too nourishing. They say it like a compliment. But compliments in the palace are rarely innocent. The prince begins to recognize you. Not as a servant, not as a tool. As you. When he cries, he reaches for you. When strangers approach, he turns his face into your chest. When he wakes from nightmares, it is your name, not the queen's, that leaves his mouth. You don't teach him that. Your body does it for you. That is the cruelest trick of all. Because the palace was never designed for affection without hierarchy. The queen notices. At first, it's small. She watches longer than necessary. She interrupts feedings with unnecessary questions. She asks physicians if this attachment is healthy. They say yes. They always say yes to her. But the seed has been planted. You feel it in the room, that tightening in the air, that subtle shift where warmth becomes tension. You're no longer invisible. You're something worse. A threat. The irony is bitter. You have no ambition, no desire for power, no illusions of replacing anyone. You just feed a child. But history has never cared about intent, only perception. The queen begins to assert herself. She insists on holding the child during feedings. Awkward, unnatural. The baby fusses, cries. You are asked to step closer, then closer still. Eventually, you are feeding him while she holds him. A strange triangle of authority in biology. It feels ridiculous and humiliating. You are close enough to feel her tension, to smell the expensive oils masking exhaustion, to sense the unspoken fear. She is his mother. But you are his comfort, and comfort is a powerful thing. After that, the rules change. You are no longer allowed to be alone with the child. A lady-in-waiting is always present, smiling, listening. Your chamber is moved farther from the nursery, still luxurious, still empty. The palace gives generously, but always takes something in return. The prince grows old enough to speak clearly, old enough to ask questions. Why don't you sleep here? Why does Mama leave? Will you go away too? You're not allowed to answer honestly. So you lie. Soft lies. Gentle lies. The kind meant to protect a child from understanding the world too early. But children feel truth even when they don't hear it. He becomes clingier. The more the queen pulls away, the more he pulls toward you. This is when the whispers grow teeth. You hear them from servants who think you can't hear. She's replacing her. She's dangerous. She should be careful. Careful of what? You don't ask. Because you already know. The queen never confronts you directly. That would be beneath her. Instead, she uses systems. Doctors suddenly question your health. Priests suggest spiritual distance is healthy. Advisors recommend gradual separation. They frame it as what's best for the child. It always is. One evening, a court official visits your chamber. He speaks kindly. Too kindly. He tells you the prince must learn independence. That attachment can weaken rulers. He praises your service. Then he says the words you've been waiting for and dreading. You will be replaced soon. Not immediately. Gradually. A younger woman has already been selected. She is nursing. She is strong. She is grateful. You nod. You thank him. Because that's what survival has taught you. Inside, something fractures. Not loudly. Quietly. Like a bone cracking under repeated stress. That night, you don't sleep. You sit on the edge of the bed, staring at walls lined with tapestries depicting battles and coronations. Great moments. None of them show women like you. The next weeks are torture disguised as routine. The new nurse is introduced slowly. She watches you, copies you. She feeds the prince under supervision. He resists, cries, reaches for you. This makes things worse. The queen grows colder. You still wake on clean sheets. Still eat better food than most people in the kingdom. Still wear clothes others would kill for. And yet, you begin to feel poorer than you ever were in your village. Because poverty of money teaches hunger. Poverty of purpose teaches emptiness. Your days lose structure. No scheduled feedings. No urgency. No infant's breath against your skin. You are reassigned to standby, a word that sounds harmless. It means, we don't need you, but we don't want to let you go either. You attend court functions, but never as a guest. You are placed near the walls, close enough to be seen, far enough to be ignored. Nobles smile without warmth. Servants stop envying you. That scares you most. Envy meant relevance. Now you are simply there. You notice strange things in this phase. How silence gets louder. How meals taste flatter. How luxury loses meaning when it no longer rewards effort. The palace begins using you differently. You are brought in to advise new wet nurses, to inspect their posture, their diet, their discipline. You train replacements. This is a special kind of cruelty. You are asked to teach women how to take your place. And you do it, because refusal is still not an option. Some of them look at you with admiration, some with fear, some with calculation. You recognize that look? That is the look of someone who knows this position is temporary and intends to extract every coin from it before it ends. You almost respect them. Almost. At night, you lie awake thinking of your own child. You calculate his age now, how tall he must be, whether he remembers your face. The palace never asked if you wanted news from home, and you never dared ask. Attachment is discouraged. Still, memories arrive uninvited. You remember the weight of him, the smell of earth and smoke in your old home, the sound of laughter without marble walls swallowing it. Here, laughter echoes too much. Your presence is tolerated, not required, and that is the most dangerous position of all. You overhear conversations meant for other ears, how budgets are tightening, how the court is shifting, how unnecessary positions are being evaluated. You realize your protection, your generous pay, was tied to one thing only: the prince's survival. He survived. You did your job too well. One afternoon, the queen summons you again. Not in anger, in boredom. She asks about your life before the palace. You answer simply. She nods, uninterested. Then she says something that lands heavier than any insult. You've been fortunate. Fortunate. You bow. You want to scream. Because fortune implies chance. And nothing about your life here was chance. It was calculated. You consider leaving. But where would you go? Your village life ended years ago. Your child grew without you. The palace world shaped you into something that doesn't fit anywhere else. You are too refined for the poor, too irrelevant for the powerful. You exist in between. A dangerous place. The loneliness becomes physical. Your chest aches sometimes. Your appetite dulls. You sleep more. The physicians notice. They whisper, not with concern, with assessment. You overhear the word melancholy. You realize with bitter amusement, even your sadness is being categorized. You begin to feel invisible in a new way. No one watches you now, which means no one protects you. And in palaces, being unseen is not safety. It is permission. You understand finally what this life was preparing you for. Not comfort, not honor, but disappearance. The notice does not come dramatically. No guards, no accusations, no punishment. Just a letter. Thin parchment, careful handwriting, polite words sharpened into a blade. Your service is complete. Your years of loyalty acknowledged. A generous final payment included. You are thanked. That is how palaces end lives. Not with cruelty, with courtesy. You pack slowly. There is not much to pack. Silk dresses you never chose. Shoes meant for halls, not roads. Gifts given by people who never knew you. You leave behind more than you take. You walk through corridors you once memorized by sound. The nursery door is closed. You pause. Not because you expect to enter. Because part of you still listens for a child's breath, a cry, a voice that once knew yours. Nothing. You realize something quietly devastating. The palace does not remember you. And worse, it does not need to. Outside the gates, the world feels louder. Dirt instead of marble. Wind instead of whispers. People who look directly at you, then away. You have money. Enough to live comfortably. But money, you learn, does not buy belonging. You return to your village months later. It feels smaller than memory. Your house still stands. Your husband is older. Tired in a way no palace ever understands. Your child, now a boy, stands behind him. He watches you cautiously. Like a stranger who might leave again. You kneel, you say his name. He does not run to you. He studies your face, searching for something familiar. Then, slowly, recognition flickers. Not warmth, curiosity. That hurts more than rejection. You stay, you try. But years cannot be undone with apologies. Your child learned to sleep without you, to eat without you, to grow without you. You are present but late. At night, you lie awake remembering palace silence. Not because you miss it, but because your body still expects it. You dream of halls that echo your footsteps, of doors closing softly, of a baby's hand curling instinctively into yours. You wake with empty arms. People in the village treat you differently. They respect you. They envy you. They don't understand you. You have palace posture now, palace speech, palace restraint. You realize the final irony of your life. You fed kings so they would never hunger. And yet no one ever asked what hunger cost you. When you die, there is no ceremony, just family. A few villagers, a simple grave. Your child, now grown, stands quietly. He holds your hand at the end. And in that moment, finally, you are not useful, not paid, not required. You are just loved. And that is the one thing the palace could never give you. So remember this the next time history praises crowns and thrones. Some people rule the world. Others keep them alive long enough to do it. And those people, they usually sleep alone.